Welcome back to Unhinged Out Loud with Kim. I'm Kim, and today I need to talk about something that doesn't get said enough in the healing space. Something that I personally have wrestled with, cried about, prayed about, and honestly, still don't always get right. What happens when you love people who aren't doing the work? I'm not talking about judging people. I'm not talking about thinking you're better than someone. I'm talking about the very real, very tender, very confusing experience of being a truth seeker. Someone who is radically committed to self-responsibility, to growth, to healing, to their intuition, to their guides, to the divine. And then looking across the table at someone you deeply love who just isn't there. And you want to help them. God, you want to help them so badly because you can see their wound from across the room. You can feel it in your body. You know exactly what's running the show for them. And you also know exactly what it would take to shift it. But they didn't ask for that. And even when they do ask, here's the part that took me years to understand. Even when they ask, they often don't have the vessel to receive it. Let me say that again, because I think it's one of the most important things I've ever learned as a coach, healer, and mentor. Giving truth to someone who doesn't have the container for it isn't helpful. It's actually harmful for both of you. When someone's nervous system is dysregulated, when their wounds are running the show, when they haven't yet developed the capacity to hear hard things without collapsing or defending or attacking, truth lands as an assault, even when it's delivered with love, even when they asked for it. The wound doesn't know the difference between insight and threat. It just knows danger. And you, as an intuitive, you feel that. You feel their walls go up. You feel the deflection. You feel yourself pouring into a cup with a crack in the bottom. And then you feel guilty for feeling drained by it. Yeah, I see you. Here's what I've had to make peace with. Not everyone is a truth seeker. And that is not a character flaw. It is not a moral failing. It is just where they are in their journey. Some people are not in a season of growth. Some people are in a season of survival. Some people have built an entire identity on the wound, and the wound is keeping them safe. Or at least that's what their nervous system believes. And you cannot drag someone out of their survival strategy, no matter how much you love them. But here's where it gets hard. Because you love them, and loving them while watching them suffer, watching them create the same cycles, the same patterns, the same pain, is its own kind of grief. It's grief for the version of them that you can see, but they can't see in themselves. And that grief is real, and it's valid, and it deserves to be honored. So what do you do? I don't think there's a clean, universal answer, but I know what I've had to ask myself, and I'll share it with you. First, is this relationship costing me my peace, my energy, or my sense of self? Because empathy is a gift, but empathy without boundaries is self-abandonment. And the most healed version of you does not require you to pour from an empty vessel. You are allowed to protect your energy. You are allowed to limit access. That is not cruelty. That is sovereignty. Second, is my presence in this relationship enabling their avoidance? Sometimes the most loving thing we do for someone is remove ourselves as the buffer between them and the consequences of their unhealed stuff. When we're always there to soften the blow, they never have to feel the full weight of it. And it's the full weight of it that sometimes cracks someone open. Third, can I love this person from a distance? And I want to be really honest about what this means, because loving someone from a distance is not abandonment. It's not coldness. It's not giving up on them. It is a spiritual practice. It means I hold space for your highest self in my heart. I release my attachment to who you are right now. I pray for your awakening without making myself responsible for it. I love the soul of you, even when the human of you is not safe for me to be close to. That is a whole different kind of love, and it might be the most mature love that there is. Now, when do you walk away? That's the question nobody wants to answer because it doesn't have a clean timeline. And I've gotten this wrong, both by walking away too soon and staying too long. But here's what I've learned. You walk away or you create significant distance when the relationship has become a consistent source of dysregulation for your nervous system. When your body braces before you see them, when you leave every interaction feeling smaller, more confused, or more exhausted than before. When you've communicated your needs clearly and they've been consistently ignored. When staying requires you to abandon yourself. Walking away is not a failure of love. Sometimes it is the fullest expression of it for them and for you. And here's what I know about truth seekers. We tend to hold on too long. We see potential. We see the soul underneath the wound. We believe in people, sometimes more than they believe in themselves. And that is a beautiful quality. But it can also be how we martyr ourselves on the altar of someone else's unfinished work. You are not responsible for anyone's awakening. Not your partners, not your parents, not your best friends, not your siblings. You are responsible for yours. I'll leave this with you. Choosing yourself is not a betrayal of love. It is the truest act of love, because a version of you that is depleted, resentful, and spiritually contracted cannot actually love anyone well. The most loving thing you can do for the people in your life is refuse to disappear for them. Stay in your sovereignty, hold your frequency, love hard, and know your limits are sacred. I love you. I mean that. I'll see you next time.